Hello, survivors! Today we are playing on the Chaoswalker in the new Frostborn Wrath update. We are going to be using his new weapon, which turns him into a Holy Walker. The weapon itself is known as the Azramiel's Blessing. Gives us Ripples of Light. It gives us Area of Effect, Multicast, and Crit Damage modifiers with a little bit of less health for our units. We are actually at a negative 30 max health, and we're actually going to reduce that even more. Another thing to note is the Chaoswalker actually gets less health per health crystal as well, just in case you didn't know that. But today we are going to be using both of his skills. We're going to be using Ripple of Light, which hits the enemy twice, and each one dealing 3 times more damage if we do crits with it. So definitely a crit build. And then we're also running a Sanctified Orb, which is every time the orb itself passes through an enemy, it gives them disoriented. But the additional orbs that are fired and deal the damage of the actual skill do not apply disoriented. So could be a very strong skill if we ran it with Lightning Surge as well, where every single hit would be dazed. So the actual orb would deal disoriented and dazed itself, and then all the little ones would then also dazed as well. So it could be very strong if you proc it with the Assassin's Lightning Surge as well. But we're going to run Ripple of Light, a Sanctified Orb, Heroic Strike, Might, Smart, and Light Beam. If we don't find like Heroic Strike, you can replace it with Arcane Power and also Bloodlust if you're missing one of the other skills. Let's go over the runes for today. We are using 10 out of 10 runic power. We've got Multicast Mastery, the bread and butter of absolutely every single build we do. Holy Inclination, Purity, Glass Cannon, and Vulnerable Exploits, because we are going to be applying the Disoriented from our Sanctified Orb. So let's go straight into it. We are actually going to be doing this on a zero curse run, and the reason for that is because we actually want to show you why we do everything on zero graphics. So today we are actually going to set the graphics all the way to max. You can see they are there on max, and we are going to put them all on just so you can see how crazy everything gets and why we don't use them on maximum. And the reason I've done this on a low curse setting is so that I can actually finish the run for everyone. If we do this on the high curse settings, the bosses as well as the void presence do become quite invisible and very difficult to see, and we do land up dying to them, or can die to them, especially to the void presence. Now let's talk about the Ascension. So it says that he can leech chaotic energy from fallen foes. So every so often you see this red orb floating towards us, and like the Chaos Knight, we get this bar at the bottom that fills up. But for the Chaoswalker, the Death Knight, not the Chaos Knight. But for the Chaoswalker, we get 4 of them, not 3 of them, and these all give us a bar to fill up. Once we have all bars filled up, or once you have 1 bar filled up, you go to these towers over here that are scattered around the entire map. So there's not just one tower like you've got for the Death Knight, or your one sacrificial altar. For the Chaos Walker, there are multiple of these Chaos Totems that you go to, or Chaos Altars, and you're going to go and sacrifice the energy to them, or to the Chaos Gods, and you will then get temporary power-ups for 23 seconds. You can have a maximum of 4 power-ups active at any given time. So even if you've used all 4 and you kill a lot of enemies and you get another one, as long as you have 4 skills active, you won't be able to use the altar again, or if you do, it will replace 4 of those skills. Alright, let's see, we got Heroic Strike, so that's fine. We're going to banish Leviathan, grab that, get cast frequency. There's Might and Smart, so we're going to grab both of them. We are going to lock the Smart, we don't really need it right now. And Might's very good for this as well. So we'll see what you can get. 4 of the skills that I know of, 5 of the skills that I know of that you can get from the Chaoswalker's Ascension, or from the Chaos Gods, are Chaotic Vortex, which is the same skill as Void but Chaos version. You get Chaos Pillar, which is similar to Smart. So you'll see chaos beams falling down onto the enemies instead of your holy ones. There's chaotic wall, which is the same as firewall, but the chaos version of it. And then lastly, the fourth one is fragments of chaos. And then the last one is the chaotic blessing. Unfortunately, I have no idea what the chaotic blessing gives us, but the chaotic fragments of chaos gives us a skill very similar to Dark Swarm. But you'll see them for yourself when you actually see the Ascension go off. We'll use all four at the same time, because why not? That just makes it more chaotic and more fun. And I didn't know myself, because I normally play with the graphics down, but if you have a look at Smart, it actually creates like a huge explosion at the bottom of it. I never knew it created that explosion. Let me know down in the comment section if you guys knew about that, if you've ever played with the graphics off all the time and didn't even realize that Smart actually looks really, really cool, or you know, if you didn't know that. Unfortunately over here, we didn't get the skill we're looking for. So we never found ripples of Glat, the sanctified thing over here. So that's a bit of a problem. Do we banish? Ah, look at that. Okay. So normally you do get it a lot easier. We decided to banish something, and we luckily landed up getting it. So we're in a very, very good spot. We do want movement speed for the Chaoswalker. He is very, very slow. We can grab the damage, and I do know for a fact that this is viable for Curse 7, ladies and gentlemen. I did test it out before we decided to do the video. I wanted to make sure that the build itself was viable. It deals a whack ton of damage. This Sanctified Orb, Ripple of Light, they completely melt bosses, especially when you're applying the brittle from the holy, from light beam. Sorry, not holy. I want to say holy beam because it is holy, but from light beam, you completely destroy all the bosses. And you can see how chaotic things get, especially when you add like orb skills, like Sanctified Orb. It really, really, really does become crazy, especially visually. And when you get multicast, it even becomes worse. So it's just really, really whack, and it's really, really strong as well. So we're going to stick to purity as well. We're not going to grab all of the negative effects because we are running purity. We don't want any of them. So we're going to go and get those upgrades. But let's see what happens here. You can stand here and get all four of them at the same time. If you do get hit, there you go. There's the fire wall. We've got the fire vortex, not the fire vortex. We've got the fire pillars happening over there as well. So like I mentioned, it's kind of like Smart, but it actually creates its own beam coming down. So there's Smart and it off at the same time. It's more of an AoE that stays there. They all finished over here. There's the Dark Swarm, or the chaotic, the fragments of chaos. It looks just like Dark Swarm and works the same way. And unfortunately, I didn't see the chaotic blessing. When you get the chaotic blessing, it puts an eye above your head, from what I've witnessed or experienced. And the chaotic pillar or vortex, sorry, we didn't get either. We did get the chaotic pillar, but the chaotic vortex is the one that is like the void, where it creates these what do we want to call them, these orbs in the air that then suck the enemies into them, and they deal. There's the chaotic blessing that we just got. It does make a weird noise every so often. I have no idea what the chaotic blessing actually gives us. All we can really do is take a look at this. We're on 502 damage. Let's see what happens when it runs out, how much damage we then have. So you can take note. We've got critical damage is nearly 300, 558 of that, and 128 cast frequency. Let's see, it's about to run out. And oh, we actually got movement speed from that one over there as well. I could feel it. So I think it gives you different bonuses all the time, just depending on how it works. I think there it actually gave us area of effect as well. So you can see there that actually our damage is the same currently. So it didn't actually give us damage, or it doesn't give you any of the stats on the actual stat board. It just gives you bonuses, random bonuses. I know one of them was movement speed, so I think every time it does apply the bonus or the buff, it gives you it. But there you go over there, that's the chaotic vortex, like the void. So you can see this like little cross over there, that it's sucking in all of the enemies, and you can actually see it does suck the enemies in as well. So really cool little skill. So just really fantastic. And I wanted to show you guys this all with the graphics on, and that's why we did do the low tier curse, just so you could see absolutely everything, because otherwise when we turn the graphics off, you're not going to be able to see any of this, and you're going to be like, whoa, what is going on over there? And or you'll just see like these weird silhouettes, and we don't want that. We want to see absolutely everything. We on low curse, so I mean, we don't even need to level up anything. We are able to just completely destroy all of the enemies without putting any power-ups into our skills. With the level we in, it's just really strong. Very strong skill. And I did get an idea, like I mentioned in the beginning of the run, with the assassin's second skill, lightning surge and sanctified orb. So I do want to try and do a sanctified orb only run and see how that goes. It could be very interesting. It could be really rubbish for all we know, but I think it could work really well. I have previously, or I have tried to do a Ripple of Light only run. Not so grand. Yeah, they're not as good, but if you really want to blind yourself, it's definitely worth trying because it's just funny. But that's it. Let's see what happens over here. You can see chaotic, the chaotic blessing, chaotic pillar, the chaos vortex, wall, and fragments of chaos. You can see Ripple of Light dealing a whack ton of damage, 3.1 million. That's that one over there. It deals 600 damage twice, and it deals 3 times damage on crits. Because we disoriented, they're also more critical strike chance. And crit damage taken, so it just they work really well together, and light beam with the brittle as well makes it fantastic. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future, and always remember, keep safe survivors. Until next time, cheers.